Hello, hello. Welcome to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we move away from awareness towards action. This is Relationship Monday, and our topic for today is double standards. Should it even exist in a relationship? We are live on Intellectual Radio. We just heard from the Drive at 5 with Roman. Keep it locked right here on Intellectual Radio and allow us to feed your brain. We are grateful for our sponsors on today. We have Gloria Dotson with Mary Kay, and she's catering to all of your beauty needs from head to toe. Allstate with Paula Kelly. She's fulfilling all of your insurance needs in one place. MyLeah Symone with affordable book editing services without skimping on quality. And then Pastor Michael Richardson from the Emanuel C.O.G.I.C, who gives you your spiritual food every Sunday morning at 10:15 a.m. on Facebook. Let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emanuel C.O.G.I.C at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emanuel C.O.G.I.C-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson. And we're from the Emanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
Last week on Warriors Talk, I spoke with Cynthia Washington, and we talked about the importance of faith in healing. Go over to YouTube, type in Intellectual Radio. Stay connected for any episodes that you may have missed. Here are your trending topics for today. The Food and Drug Administration on Friday paved the way for children ages 5 to 11 to get the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. The FDA cleared kids-sized dosage, just a third of the amount given to teens and adults for emergency use, and up to 28 million more American children could be eligible for the vaccination as early as this week. One more regulatory hurdle remains. On Tuesday, advisors of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention will make a more detailed recommendation on which youngsters should get the vaccine, with a final decision by the agency director. Vaccinating young children against COVID-19 will bring us closer to returning to a sense of normalcy. According to Dr. Woodcock, the acting FDA commissioner, said in a statement, our comprehensive and rigorous evaluation of the data pertaining to the vaccine safety and effectiveness should help us assure parents and guardians that this vaccine meets our high standards. Those are your trending topics for today. If you are tuning in on any form of social media, please like, share the show, invite someone else in on the show that you feel may benefit from this valuable information. Co-hosting with me is none other than cancer activist, motivational speaker, and the founder of the Gal Foundation, Resolve Gilmore, aka Biz. What's up, Resolve?
What's up, Lady ReShell?
How are you on today?
I am fine, and yourself on this 1st of November?
I know. It seemed like last month just flew by so fast, so fast.
It really did. It seemed like October 1st hit, and we were saying Halloween, and it's over. We'll be saying Happy New Year tomorrow, so be prepared.
I'm not ready. I am just not ready.
It's not. 2021 went by really fast, and I think 2022 is going to do the same thing.
Yes. Okay, let's just enjoy it, smell the roses. So I'm excited about the topic today. It is double standards. Should they exist in a relationship? And I just want to give credit to a YouTuber by the name of Tony Talks, because this is where I pulled most of my information from. And his YouTube was very interesting. So I felt like this particular question, we could talk about this forever, because some of these double standards never change. And some of them we probably just added on recently, but a lot of them, they stay the same. So Resolve, when you hear a double standard, what do you think? Like, what comes to mind?
Well, you know, my mind thinks differently, but I know you have a list of them. So I'd rather we jump into the list first and go down, and then I'll plug my little
No, I want
double
to know what
standards.
comes to mind when you first hear double standard. Like, what comes to mind?
When you first hear double standards, it's, you know, for me, it's like, well, it could be what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you know, you're doing this, I'm doing that. So it's an array of things for me when it comes down to double standards.
Why I gotta pull that out of you?
Because you know I'm difficult, but that's what makes the show juicy here on Relationship Mondays, every first Mondays.
Yes. So let's just hop right into the subject. All right. So the first one is, and I think I have about 10 of them. The first one is, why can men have we hear this so many times, that's why I wanted it to go first. Why can men have like hundreds of partners and get a reputation and a status from the acts? You know, people like, yeah, while women, their reputation be like, oh, she's loose, she's a thought.
If that's what you're asking me.
I'm not asking. That's just the first
That's
one.
that's the first one. Why can men have hundreds of partners and get a reputation and status from the while women carry this reputation of being loose if they have done the same? Honestly, that's really a good question, and it's been like that for a very, very long time. And I know this is probably one of the ones that you're speaking of that has been going on for a very, very long time. But you also got to think about it. This whole, you know, as many women as a person can conquer, you know, a man can conquer, has been going on for a very long time. I mean, back since the Romans, back since, you know, way back. It was actually even back since the Bible days. I'm not sure they glorified it then, but they had multiple partners back then. And the women were looked down on. So, you know, I can agree with this one.
Are you saying because it's normal?
I'm not saying that it's normal, but it's been the norm.
Okay. Hey, Kenya, thank you for tuning in. Hey, Kimmy. C.A. Latre, aka Mr. Research, he said it's unfair. But it's unfair to have it that way. But he said, but loose comes from a royalty and kingdom understanding. That's interesting. Kenya says society is used to men dating several women and not women dating several men. I think it was interesting to hear the man say that it was unfair. I agree with you, Kenya. I totally do. I feel like what Rizal said was good for the goose. But we have to realize that, first of all, men and women are built differently. We're built totally different from each other, and God did it strategically. So I feel like we shouldn't even try to. We're not equal. First of all, I know women probably going to get upset and say, yeah, we are. We're equal. We're not. God did not make us the same. He made us from the man. He did not make us equal. So we don't have to do everything that the man does. And when you think about it, when you're having sex, nothing is going into the man, but it's going into the woman. You know, it's like those are your insides. Like, if you want to be running around with all of these different mix. Ooh, is this a PG show? I don't know. Semen's in you, and you know, I don't know. That's something to think about. It really is.
That is, I see. Okay, we got look. Cadillac's not alone tonight. We got another guy in the room.
Yeah, Mr. Research. He said loose is about taking lovers inside the body. That's unfair, but it's where the phrase comes from. Okay. And that's why I was saying, like, for women, if you're constantly taking this inside of your body, and we talk about soul ties all the time too. That's a lot of different spirits that you taking on inside of your body too. So it's like, just because it's good and it may seem good, or it may seem unfair, doesn't mean that it's right for you to do. If that makes sense.
Of course it does. what's good to you ain't necessarily good for you. And that right there was definitely a perfect example of what you were saying.
He said Luce is also in the LQG. Did they change the initials? Community, or maybe he meant just type it.
LQ. I'm trying to think of all the LQ.
Yeah, he probably just shortened it. Community, and once again, taking lovers inside. He says no pause. He said pause, no homo.
Yeah, I just call them the Rainbow Coalition. Makes it easier than trying to remember all them letters and numbers and bears and tigers. Oh my! So.
Oh no. Okay, I don't even know. I would say, again, we're not built the same. We're not built to withstand the same things. And I think that's why I say this all the time. That's why a lot of women, sometimes we are so sickly and stressed because we're trying to compete with the man. If that's that man's decision to want to sleep with hundreds of women, then that's that person's decision. But you have to do what's right for you.
Well, I don't think women are trying to compete with men as far as sleeping, like, ooh, I don't see no woman like I got a higher body count than you do, nothing like that. But I do think that women are trying to compete with the man inside the home, inside of work, and other things, because as we said many times on the show, that women are definitely trying to wear the pants in the relationship. And you can't have two people wearing the pants.
Okay, that's in a relationship. But if you're not in a relationship and you feel like, why do I only have to date and sleep with one person? If I'm single, I can go out here and do the same thing that a man is doing. There are some women who do have that type of thinking.
Some women do, but it also comes down to your morals, how you rate. There's single women out there who their mothers encourage, like, hey, it's like their mothers are like damn near trying to rent out their JJ. Like, oh, he got money, girl. You should go ahead and, sleep with him. You should be with this person. And, thank God that we do have some good, great, wholesome women out there who don't, particularly listen to those as society or their moms or whoever, their girlfriends or whatever, and they just follow what's best. Hopefully they're trying to set an example, because there could be a little one that's in the picture that's looking up to them, because you never know who's looking, who's watching. So you definitely don't want that reputation or that name, because there's some women, we come from the same community, ReShell. We know that there's some women that's out there whose name is just really out there. And it's a shame, once you hear like, really? Right? Okay, well, shoot, let me go ahead and get my turn, or let me.
Nasty.
It's nasty to you, but to a man, it's like, well, yep, I hit it, quit it, done, move on.
All right. Kenya, I'm going to try to read this, Kenya. Kenya said, we have a lot of women that they of their life through the eye. Oh, we have a lot of women, Kenya. I'm sorry. We have a lot of women that live their life through the eyes of their man. I think that's what she meant. They have this notion that if he can do it, I can do it. I can do it too. And that's what I was saying. Women do think like that. They do. There are some women out here that will, and they're not necessarily competing with the man, but they feel like, why should he be the only one that's able to be out here sleeping with these people? And it's not like they're trying to sleep with people, but it's like, if I'm dating and if I decide to sleep with this man I'm dating, then hey, if I'm dating 3 or 4 people, if she decides to sleep with 3 or 4 people, then why is she looked at bad when Billy over here is doing the same thing? They both sleeping with the same amount of people, but he's getting daps and she's getting called a hoe.
So are we going?
I know, Kenya. I got you, girl. I got you.
Are we going tit for tat with one another? Trying to keep up with each other with who we sleeping with, or are we really? I mean, what happened to the days of savoring and being emotionally tied to this person and really liking this person, and we just out to just get a nut and we're gone.
Kimmy, I agree with you, but hold on. Some people don't even care. They don't care if you do that. So Kimmy says, why not try a different technique, such as asking the person applying the double standard to explain the rationale behind their behavior, or asking them how they would feel if someone else applied similar double standard towards them. Place yourself in someone else's shoes. Girl, when people trying to get their thing on, they not thinking about that. They just
ain't
not.
rational either. It's like, look, I need to get this in, get this out, and get it over with and be done.
You don't, and a lot of times, Kimmy, you don't think about that until it's over with. Like when it's done and over, you're like, oh, so that's how it feels. You don't think about that.
Until after the fact or down the line, when maybe something has happened, or you're talking to your girlfriends and now they giving you the screw face, like, ew, you did what? And you did it with who? And you did what? Now they're looking at you with a side eye, like, girl, I don't know. Because you don't want that reputation, because birds of a feather.
Not together.
Yep.
Angela says, but you can't do what a man does. None whatsoever. That's what I said. We are not built to do. Totally different people. And why would you even want to? That's the thing. Why would you even want to do what he's doing? If you're with somebody and they're doing that, then if that's not what you want to do, you need to separate yourself from that person. But it does come down to morals and
values.
A lot of people resolve. A lot of people may be hurt. They may be bitter, and they may just feel like, you know what, I'm just gonna go out there and do as many people as I can, or hurt people.
So what, they just out there like revenge sexing, and then you go back months later like, I wish I could unsleep with that person?
It happens.
Once it's done, it's done.
I mean, there are some people, that's a person I slept with that I just blocked him out of my mind, so I don't remember any of it.
So what, you just laid there like, you just laid there like the first dude and set it off with Jada Pinkett, who's just doing it for the money?
I just blocked them from my mind. Like, people do things for different reasons.
That's true.
And you have to live with whatever choice you make. With whoever you're sleeping with, you have to deal with the residue of that. Okay, I'm going to try to read Mr. Research. He says, okay, he says, pipe envy, that's what it is. That's what she wants, to be a cougar, but her girlfriends call a guy doing the same thing she is doing as creepy or negative. Oh, wow. Wow.
We got a lot of comments coming in.
I never heard that before. Pipe envy. Learn something new, Mr. Research. All right. I don't even know if I want to comment on that. Rizal, you want to comment on
that? We'll get it next week.
Why not?
Next week's topic.
Mr. Research, he's a new listener. You should comment on that.
He has to get to know my personality first. So, it's one of them days. I feel like I've been on tour all last month. Like, I'm still jet lagged. We had a great time in Chicago, had a great time in Jersey. Thank you, Wanda.
Oh, yeah, he got on his shirt. Representing Intellectual Radio. Look at you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're family now.
Yeah, you're official now. You're official.
Right.
Angela said, at the end of the day, ladies, you still need to have morals. I totally agree, Angela. But
what happens if you never see those morals? As we said previous, and a lot of different conversations that we had, if you never seen nothing but chaos in your life, all you're going to become later on in life is chaos. So if you never seen or understand what morals, values, and these things, what it is to being in a relationship or how you should carry yourself, then you're just going to be out there, as we said the term, you're going to be out there loose off the goose.
But you know what? No, that's a cop-out, because there are so many YouTube videos. There's so many books. There are different courses that you can take to get some of those, to even learn, to decide how you want to act. I mean, so no, that's a cop-out.
Ain't nobody going to the. When the last time you had a library card? And don't say your kid.
One. Hey, hold up. I have one, and I have one for all of my
Well,
kids. We frequent the library. We do. We do.
Mine is revoked, probably suspended. But ain't nobody going to the library to say what are morals, what are values. Again, we are people who represent and we do what we see. So if we see the guys standing on the corner and they're drinking their I'm about to say Red Bull. If they drinking their Colt 45, or the 40 ounces or whatever, that's what we think because that looks like the cool thing to us to do. So that's what we're going to do. We don't see like none of them going in preaching like no son or no brother or no sister, you should be handling yourself like this because we don't see them handling themselves like that. So who are we to trust? Who are we to believe?
Sometimes when you see people doing a certain thing, something in you be like, that's not right. I want to do better. Who wants to be standing outside in the cold? No, okay, I'm not going to go there. Kimmy said there are many people that grew up without seeing values and still make or take a different path. I totally agree. I agree. Earl said he loves the shirt, Rizal.
Thank you, Earl.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna try to read this. She said, it's a lot of young ladies have watched their mothers move in unhealthy ways, and they think that's how they are supposed to act.
That's right. They got about 57 different uncles.
You're preaching. We have to be, as parents, we have to make sure that we are setting good examples for them, because these kids are like sponges. They're soaking up everything that they see. And although they soak it up, once they get of age, then they'll be like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that Uncle Derek and Uncle Brian and Uncle Larry really wasn't my uncles that was coming in the house that Mama was saying that was my uncles? So eventually the kids will know. So you just have to be careful.
But nowadays the kids, they're not getting it from the uncle, the parents, because they're not looking at the parents, because they now at an age where they think that they know everything, especially if you laying down with somebody. So it's like you can't tell them nothing. And I tell all the youngsters and the older people, don't ever get to a point in your life where nobody can tell you nothing. So if they can't learn from their own parent, they're looking at YouTube, they're looking at all these videos and think that they're learning from that or learning from them. And that's how things are supposed to be. And they're telling themselves like, okay, I need to do this, because I saw it there, that.
Kimmy says she loves the shirt too.
Thank you, Kimmy. Wait a minute, did she put hard eyes up there?
She put hard eyes.
Oh, we haven't talked about these hard eyes.
What's going on, Kimmy? Resolve.
Get yourself in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Angela said that's what makes you want to be different, because of the chaos you have seen or been a part of in your life. I need to bring some glasses. Mr. Research says next week, laugh out loud. Kenya say I actually agree. Okay, we still on this number one.
I've been told you to move on. You didn't want to listen to
number one
his double standard right there.
20 minutes. Okay, so we're talking about double standards. Should they exist in a relationship? We are live on Intellectual Radio. This is Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell and The Biz, and we're talking about double standards. So the second double standard is, are interracial relationships judged by the same when a Black man is married to a white woman versus a Black woman married to a white man?
Honestly, I think they get the same amount of heat. Honestly. And that's just my opinion. Views and opinions of Warrior Talk with us all is of The Biz alone. So, but I think they get about the same amount of heat.
You think they get? No, they don't. Are you really? You really fixed your mouth to say
it's
that?
Probably more seeing. You think that it's more heat with a black woman dating a white man than a Black man dating a white woman? I think they get the same amount of heat.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Look, love is love. Love don't have no color. Look, I don't care if you're green, light green, you know, whatever the color is. If you find happiness, you like love, because guess what? You the one that got to deal with that person. It ain't for society to judge. It ain't for your friends and nobody to judge. It's only the conversation with you, that person, and God. He's the only one that can judge you. So if you want to date someone that's outside of your race, knock yourself out.
Yeah, but it ain't like that. And I think the reason why, because Black, and I think this is Black women's, this is one of our little faults that we have, is that we're so loyal to the Black man that we're nervous to go outside of our race, because we just so loyal to the Black man, when I'm not going to say all Black men, I'll say a few are not loyal to Black women. And you know what? It's their preference. They can really do whatever they want. I really don't care. I've dated outside of my race, so and I know the looks that I got from Black men. I know the comments that I got from Black men when I was dating a white guy. So
I was about to say that Spanish guy don't count.
Well, he counts too. He was Spanish. I dated a white guy, Filipino guy, Spanish guy.
Now look, see, that's a whole handful right there.
That's it. I'm 50, so you know that was when high school and when I was in my 20s. So yeah, yep, sure did. And let me tell you this, and I know Black men may get upset. The race that treated me the best out of the men that I have dated.
I needed a drum roll. Hold on, I needed a drum roll for this one.
Was the white guy. And I was too immature at the time to embrace it, to accept it. I was 19 or 20 at the time. And when I say this man spoiled me, he spoiled me. Purchased me a car, just taught me a lot of stuff, just treated me like a queen. And, you know, I used to go party with my girlfriends, and he had his own apartment, and he would buy all of my like hair stuff, and I had my clothes over there. He gave me a key because he worked third shift, and he was like, when you're done partying, you could come hang out. You know, he would be at work. And it was just, and I was too young because I was trying to party with my friends. And I was like, oh, he's smothering me. He's just doing too much. He used to bring me lunch up to my job and surprise me. Like, just a lot. And when I think about it now, I was just like, girl, you was just really stupid. Just really stupid. And it was at one point, so crazy. One point I thought that I was pregnant by him. I was so upset. I was like, oh my God, like, I don't want to have any little mixed babies. Like, this is my mind at 19. Like, I think about it right now. I'm like, girl, you could have had those little mixed babies and you could have had you a good man. But I was too busy partying and hanging with my girlfriends. I didn't appreciate it. Yeah.
No. No. That could be part of the truth. But the story that you was telling yourself is the real truth. Because in your mind, you were saying, I can't be with this guy, even though he treats me well, he's doing X, Y, and Z, and he's being Mr. Wonderful to me. What are my friends going to say? What is my family going to say?
No, I didn't care about that. I didn't care about that.
It didn't cross your mind at all.
Didn't care that he was white. I did not care. I didn't, because he treated me good. I was just busy partying. I was 19 or 20. I was busy with my friends. I didn't have an issue with, I took him everywhere. I introduced him to everybody. I knew everybody in his family. Like,
how old was he?
I was 19, so he was like 25, I think. So he was a little older, yeah. Out of college, a manager somewhere. Like, he was pre-med, doing his thing. I was in a space to where I was just partying, and it was just like, I didn't want to be like tied down. I was just like, okay, I wanted to party. And he was more like, okay, I'm here. Like, when you're ready, I'm here. So yeah, but he treated me the best. Let me just say that. Even to this day, I could say he treated me the best. And that's just what it is. Okay, you're right. Well, can you say love doesn't see color? You're right. When your heart is when
Next relationship.
that love is there, it's there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I have a question. So we're talking about interracial relationships, right? So it was mentioned that, you know, Kamala Harris, she has a Caucasian husband, and they were saying, do you think Obama would have won if he had a white wife?
I'm thinking.
Now.
Yeah.
You think he would have won?
I do.
Man, you out of your mind. Because you know how many black women be voting, and we ain't doing it. No, it ain't happening. Not in this lifetime. Not in this lifetime. Now, Kamala, that's a pass, you know. Black men, a lot of them not voting, so it really don't matter. Not to say anything bad about black men. I know some of y'all do vote.
The black men
don't cancel me, okay? I know some of y'all do.
It is for a lot of the black men, just
more black women vote.
More black women, and it's hard for them to get to vote. So they made things harder for them. Well, I know that the terms now has really eased up and changed a little bit, but it was more hard for guys that's coming out of jail, guys to understand what politics even was to be able to vote. Because we all went to the whole thing. Like when it comes down to voting, nobody trusts anybody because they all say the same thing. They all did the same thing. Once they're in office, they forgot about you and nothing they said they lived up to. So nobody wanted to continue that whole cycle in the vote. Like it was like hot air. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Sounded like the teacher from Charlie Brown.
So the bottom line is more black women vote than black men. So the black women will not have voted for Obama.
We're going to do a poll on that one.
I am the poll. And I'm telling you, black women
see this Facebook, how she
will not have voted.
You are just one voice.
I'm speaking for them, speaking for my warriors. We could take a poll right now. We have women in here right now. Ladies that are in here right now.
It's only one guy in here.
I said ladies.
That ain't being
you said ladies. Would ladies have voted?
I said take a poll. So that could be either men or women. I didn't say ladies. Oh, okay. I said take a poll.
Well, let's take a poll.
No, on Facebook, not in the group. Not here tonight. We're going to put a poll and come next Relationship Monday. We're going to read the results. I'm going to post it and you're going to post it.
This is your chance to take action. I want you to post it as a man. You post.
I will definitely post
it. If Obama had a white wife, do you think he would have won? I want the man to post it because, you know, sometimes let you post it and the women let them flock to it and let them answer it. Now they may lie, be like, oh yeah, Razal, I do it because they lying. They lying.
How you going to tell them how to feel that they lying?
He's a black candidate, but we've been looking like, oh, so the sisters ain't good enough for you to be in the White House with? Oh no, you ain't getting in this White House. All right, so let's move on to the next one.
What was the last comment?
Post it on your page and let me know. We'll report back to the people. Okay, so number 3, you guys, it says we're talking about double standards and should it even exist in a relationship. So number 3 is, do men that cheat in a relationship have a side chick or have the right to have an issue with the partner if the partner decides to have a side as well? And let me just clarify, this is a side man, not another side woman. So if the man has him a side chick and the woman like, okay, well, he got a side chick, so I'm just going to get me a man. So while he's over there doing his thing, I could be covered over here.
Yes, we do have a problem with it. Why? Because as a man speaking, and, you know, my older days, once the men have, you know, my mother always said that anytime you lay down with a woman, she always takes a piece of you with her. And if you're taking a piece of me, we feel as though that you are ours forever.
No.
So this is what, listen. This is where the craziness come in at. This is why you got them stalkers. This is why you got those crazy people who don't want to stop calling and such and such. Because when you're in it, it's like you're with me forever. No matter the terms, no matter what, I don't care. You with somebody, you're in it forever. And this is just men. Now we can have all the side pieces we want, but to hear you say that you got somebody, oh, you just stuck a dagger in my heart.
And you're gonna be all right.
You just might as well twist it and just report DNR.
Yep, you will be all right.
Don't even bring me back.
This is my thing. If you gotta have a side chick, and I know that you have a side chick, I'm just gonna start removing myself. I'm gonna remove myself mentally first, and then when I'm ready to go, I'm gonna remove myself physically. I'll address it with you, and I'll be like, why is this happening? Why do you feel the need? If this is not enough, then let's just go our separate ways. I'm not about to be over here with a side. No, I'm about to get up out of there.
So immediately, like, you will remove yourself if you found out?
I would love you from a distance. I will still love you and be out of there.
But wait a minute, what happened to the counseling?
I just said I would talk to you and I will address it with you. If you need to go to counseling because you're the one that feels like you need to have somebody on the side. I don't. I'm not out there with somebody on the side. So you go to counseling and find out why you need to have multiple people. And if this is just your personality, then you need to go find those multiple people and subtract me from the.
Well, why can't you come with me so you can understand how I'm feeling, what I've been going through? Because you wouldn't listen to me when I tried to show you and explain to you beforehand. And this is why we are where we are. Because that other side chick, she was listening to me and she became a great ear. And you know, just sitting down, it just became so easy to talk to her. But you on the other hand, you want to go ahead with your girls and you want to be out there smoking Black and Miles and chilling and turning up and everything. So why can't we go to counseling? Because you may have some things too that I've been trying to explain to you what's going on.
Baby, bye. Go with her. I'm good. I'm good. Shut the door. You know what they say. Okay, Angela said, because we're going to be on this forever. Angela said, so I have dated outside my race, and here's what I don't like. The first time there's a heated argument, the first words that come out of their mouth is, you black Nick, what? Angela, let me just say this. I don't know what kind of people you date, but me and this guy got into arguments, and that never happened. Now, whether he called me that in his mind or not, did it come out of his mouth? No. I don't think that's true for everybody who's dating outside of their race, Angela. Because if they felt that way, then they always felt that way, right? It wasn't because y'all had an argument. It's because that's how they genuinely felt.
It wasn't mother flower, I will cut you.
What was all? Okay, I hope I ain't missing y'all comments. Angela says, I don't really care for her. Are you talking about Kamala? She has an identity crisis. She doesn't know what race she wants to be or ethnicity she wants to be put in. Shaking my head. Right. Angela, say how you really feel, Angela. Kenya says, I don't think he would have won. Bing, there's one. Kimmy said, hell to the no. He wouldn't have won.
Wait a minute. Woo! It wasn't. Are we still talking about the Obama thing?
These are old comments. Yes, this is the Obama thing.
Look, we're gonna need you to keep up. Or we're gonna need Ron to be on the board over there to help you read, because
these were comments that was coming in when we were talking about the Obama thing. I just didn't have a chance to read them. Angela said it's called soul ties. Yeah, we talk about soul ties all the time. Kenya said that's it. It's called maturity. You have to grow from your wicked ways. Okay, where we are. Number 4, we're talking about double standards. I don't know if I want to read this one. Do women have the same social obligations to call the day after the first time, talking about sex, or do we create excuses that allow them to ghost people after getting theirs? We don't with men. Okay, so what this is saying, I hope I read that right, is when we have sex with somebody and we don't call, we don't respond, we don't do anything, and we ghost the person. Like, are we obligated to call after that first time?
You're not obligated, but me personally, I think that you should.
No, why? Why?
Depending on how you feel. I mean, if you were just in it to just, get yours and be done with it, understandable. Because if you don't call, he's going to call. And if he don't call, then you're going to call. It's going to go one of the ways. Hey, what's going on? What happened to you? Haven't heard from you a while. Hey, big head. Hey, stranger. What you been up to? You're going to get those type of questions like, what's happening? What's going on?
But
so
if you don't want to call,
but
if you don't want to call, then you don't have to call.
Yeah, exactly. I said you're not obligated to, but I said again, views and opinions. I said that you should. I mean, for me, I just feel it's just the right thing to do. We just laid down and share a very intimate moment where we shared souls, we shared flesh, we shared like all these moments and things together. And then I'm just going to like cut, because trust me, I'm quite sure it was work to get to that point. So all that work that I did just to get to that point, just to stop it happen. And again, this is why I say always try to be friends first, because even if we did lay down together, we can still go back to what we were, and that's being friends, and there'll be no ghosting. It's like you got to be ready to get to that level and stop just jumping in and jumping out with people.
Well, Mr. Research just told me all. He said, believe the victim, ReShell. Can't diminish what she heard verbally from her white man. You're making it seem like it never happened to her. Oh, Angela, I apologize if this happened to you. I am not trying to diminish what happened.
And I did say, how you going to tell her how she feels?
Like I said, if they said that, they felt it from the beginning. It wasn't because you had an argument. It was always there.
So wait a minute. Let me get this. This may not have something to do with the topic because I know we're kind of left, but then we will it back in. So, question: if dating outside our race and there's things that come up, like let's say I'm a black man who's dating a white woman, and there's another black man or a black woman who tells me, hey, we got to look out for our brothers and sisters. Would you get offended by hearing that coming from that person, knowing that you're dealing with somebody outside your race? Would you start to think like, you know what, maybe I need to come back into my, my race?
Say that again.
Would you feel offended if one of your brothers and sisters, not knowing or could be knowing that you are dating outside your race, it could be whomever, whatever, and they tell you that, we got to help each other? Do you feel any type of offense to that?
We got to help each other do what?
Whatever it is, help each other build, help each other grow, stop the fighting amongst brothers and sisters and trying to push Black people forward, the whole Black power thing. And
so just because I'm dating outside of my race doesn't mean I'm not trying to still help push the Black agenda forward.
Do you think that you could be part of the problem because you are dating outside of your race? Do you think that's pushing the problem forward?
Nope. I feel like
it's setting us back.
It's a preference to whoever you want to date. I could say this about a lot of Black men, that when they get money, they date outside their race and they take the money from the community elsewhere. I could say that, but it's their preference on what they want to do. It's their preference. So that's okay because it's their preference. Angela said it's definitely true, Lady ReShell. Men that date outside of their race most definitely get called a Black nigger. I don't want to say the word. When she say not the woman, let me clarify. Oh, I thought you meant the woman, Angela. I'm sorry. She says not the woman. Let me clarify that. For you seen many times, women such as myself lay that one on the table up front. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's deep, Angela. It is something to think about, Angela. It really is. It really is. Because if you're with someone and like you said, if that comes up in an argument while we're arguing, it makes me think like, what else are you thinking in there about me? Because that should never come up in the argument. It should never come up.
But it's good that it did, because 9 times out of 10, what they say is what they really feel.
Especially when you're heated like that and it comes out, that means it's already down up in you. And now I'm brave enough to say it. Now we argue. I'm brave enough to say it.
Tell them you'll get the truth 2 ways: drunk or argument. You'll get the truth one of those 2 ways.
Hey, Michelle, thank you for joining us. We're talking about double standards and should they exist in a relationship. I think I'm going to skip some of these numbers. Well, we stopped on number 5.
We was
No,
on
number
5,
4.
we was on 4.
Okay, I'm going to skip down because I just want to get to some of the other ones because I know.
Well, what's some of the new ones, being that we know some of the old ones?
They're mixed in here. That's why. Okay, so this one it talks about women about 50-50. I don't know if I should do this one. Okay, this one is women are still expected to change their last name when they get married, when men want to go 50-50. So you want to go 50-50, but you're wanting me to change my last name to yours. If we're going 50-50, then my name should be my last name and your name should be your last name, because that's 50-50.
But why? Because for whatever, it's been a whole facade that women hyphenated now. That's been the big thing. So you be Lady ReShell, Dotson, Matheny, Ali, Muhammad, Grace, or whatever. Like, you got about 5 last names added on to that thing.
Well, I mean, but we're going 50-50. So if we're going 50-50, that means we're going half on everything. We're going half on the bills. We're going half on housework. We're going half on taking care of these kids. We're going half on cooking, so
that's not, right. So we 50-50. Wait a minute. If we 50-50, that makes us equal. So guess what? You want the garbage out? You go take it, because that's half of the responsibility.
You didn't even hear what I just said. I said we're going 50-50. So we're going 50-50 on cooking. We're going 50-50 on taking out the garbage. We're going 50-50 on paying the bills. So why not go 50-50 and you keep your name over there, your half, and I keep my name over here?
But they're doing it with the hyphen. So I got half my name and half your name.
No, we're not I'm not saying hyphenated.
So you're just not going to change your last name at all.
Exactly. I'm not saying hyphenated.
Nah. So in order for me to get your last name, lady, this is the disclaimer. What you are saying is, to have my last name attached to you, is that I have to be doing 100% or 80%, let's say 80%, for you to be ReShell, and I'm just going to say ReShell Gilmore.
What I am saying, that these did not come from me, so I am reading it. I already gave I credit my source at the beginning. So what he talked about was they're going 50-50. So why do the woman has to change her name if we're doing everything 50-50? Now on Facebook, my name is ReShell Dotson Matheny, right? On my social security card, it's ReShell Matheny, which was my married name. And I left the Dotson on there because a lot of people know me from Dotson. I left the Matheny on there so that when I'm registering my kids from school and stuff like that, we all have the same last name. So in my divorce decree, I said I wanted to keep my last name, and my ex-husband was okay with that.
So just a question, if you would have dropped your last name, would you changed all the kids' name as well, or kept them as Matheny?
Why would I change their name? Why would I take that away? That doesn't make sense.
It all depends on how bitter and spiteful the divorce was.
It wasn't a bitter and spiteful divorce. That's why he didn't care. He was like, yeah, why not? That makes sense.
It makes it easier, because it's a lot of trouble changing names. I know my wife had to go through it.
Yeah, and my main purpose for doing it was so when I'm enrolling them in school, we all have the same last name. Like, it's the same,
I get it. I mean, yes, that's one of the logical things, sensible things to do. It makes sense.
Right. Okay, we do have a comment. So Mr. Research says, Jordan Peele is married to a white woman, but just help a Black female director to be most financially successful female director in film history. Oh, wow. Documented male help female fact. Also Sidney Poitier. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. See, Mr. Research is giving us some facts today. I appreciate you tuning in, Mr. Research.
Exactly. I was about to say, we love you for chiming in today.
Okay, this is a good one. Before we run out of time, we got like, oh, I should have did this one earlier, but we got like a minute or two. So this one is like on the dating apps. You see that they have the height requirement. Like a lot of women put the height requirement for men, right? Everybody wants somebody over 6 feet, right? But they saying that the men, they shame the men if they put a weight requirement on there. So it's like a double standard.
Well then, so a height requirement. Well, you know what? Okay, I can't speak about the height. Women love that because they feel secure with a taller man. But men, we get catfished so much because the women just want to take just a headshot picture and not show everything else. And you get to the picture, and if you got a certain criteria that you want to see from a woman, whether it's athletic build, whether it's BBW, whatever your preference is, and that person isn't what you think or is not what you want, then there's a problem, because now you invested time into this person and they threw you off with just this shot here. Anytime I would see this, just the face right here or just the shoulders, it was a no for me, because you're hiding something. It was a no. I was done.
Behind something.
It was this.
You want the booty shots? You want them to be in the camera with the butt that way like this?
I don't.
Like, what is it?
I don't even want the booty shots. I don't even want. Look, I'm a man who likes a physique, but I would like to see a whole. I would like to see the whole package from top to bottom, because there could be something in my preferences that I'm just not interested in. And why waste your time? Why am I going to say, yeah, girl, you look good, and meantime I'm looking down, at the ground through the whole date because I don't want to look over at you. So we got to stop with them. It's not even 3/4 shot, with just a shoulder and head shot. It's misleading. It's terrible.
Y'all can post y'all headshots. Y'all ain't got to post y'all whole body if y'all want to. You want everything up front. You don't want to just, no. When we go on a date, you'll see the whole body. I ain't got to post all of that. I ain't asking you to post a picture
grand closing.
I ain't asking
That'll
you
be
to
the last date.
Hey, there's so many men out here in this world, like, trying to tell women, don't get stuck on, oh, it's not enough men. It's a lot of men. Open yourself up to different races. We so stuck on the one race, but open yourself up. I'm just saying.
I'll go ahead and listen to Lady ReShell if y'all
open
want.
Yourself up. If you feel like there's no good Black men out here, and sometimes you have to work on yourself. And
well, the Black man could feel like there's no good Black woman. The mad Black woman syndrome. We could be thinking that.
Or the lazy Black man syndrome. We could be thinking that. But we're not going to think that.
To the woman.
We're not going to think that right now, because we're getting ready to
man got to always, we being that we're the providers, so we don't work with the lazy Black man. But the women, again, this goes back to the conversation of what do you bring to the table?
And on that note, we are so grateful that you tuned in today to Warriors Talk, as we talked about double standards, should they exist in a relationship. And I will leave you guys with these words of wisdom. In every relationship, there will be compromise. Find your person that you're willing and don't mind to compromise for. Join me next Monday at 6 p.m. right here on Intellectual Radio. As always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell. Co-hosting with me today is The Biz. And with Warriors Talk, we are changing lives one warrior at a time.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on intellectualradio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.